Hey everybody, it is Bree here, and I haven't made a vlog, well, since yesterday, and if you saw my vlog from yesterday, then you should be following Felice on Tumblr, and if you're not already, the link is somewhere around the screen, and it's also down in the description, so go do that right now. Also, I want to talk with you guys a little bit on what's been happening, and I know a lot of you have, had seen on Tuesday, this following Tuesday, well, this past Tuesday, that's what I meant, I took a little trip to the hospital. Reasoning I took the trip to the hospital, what happened? I woke up Tuesday, I was perfectly fine, and then, I got into the shower, I did my normal routine, I was perfectly okay. After, I was sitting down, I was eating breakfast, because you need to have breakfast. It's the most important meal of the day, as everybody says, and that is very true. It gets your body going and lifts up your energy. Anyway, so, eating breakfast, and now all of a sudden I'm like, ooh, I don't feel good at all. I felt like I was gonna get sick, and I didn't. I just had a very, very, very bad headache, and, I was very dizzy, so I went back, I laid in bed, and I was like, ugh, and I can't go to school, I'm gonna miss all this work, I'm gonna have a lot of work to make up, which I did, because you guys all know, if you miss a day of school, it's like torturous when you go back the next day, because you got all that work that you missed, and the work that you did that day. So, anyways, so I went back to sleep for a few hours. I woke up and I was still feeling horrible. My head was still pounding, and my mom, she had come home, and I had woken up with this huge bump. Like, it was probably like that big. It was like 3 centimeters, like, wide, or I guess, or like something. And it hurt really, really, really bad. So, I was like crying, and so that happened. So I was taken away, hospital time, here we go again. And what's interesting? The room that I was in for the accident that night, getting my stitches, I wasn't in that room, but I was in the room next door. So I thought that was really interesting, but also, okay, so what had happened, the doctor was saying, it's not, because at first they were thinking it's a blood clot, because they had to cauterize 2 main arteries that go in your head, or, through your head. Obviously they're in your head, but, through here, and, so cauterize means they had to burn them. Okay, fine and dandy. They did that back when they were doing the stitches. Fine and dandy. Go ahead, do whatever you need to do to get my head fixed. A few weeks ago, when I was back in Long Island, I had hit my head, blah, 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 blah. So they had thought, I had, busted one of the arteries that was cauterized, and there was internal bleeding starting to form under my skin. Which, that's not the case, which is fantastic. That's not the case. Good. But they were thinking that because of the way it was it looked. What they thought it was, and they still think it is, a cyst. A cyst is, it has water inside, and scar tissue and everything, I guess. And, so that whole gist. So I had to go to my plastic surgeon today, and now you're like, I don't see you guys are probably saying, I don't see a bump on your face. What are you talking about? You're probably telling all these lies. I'm not telling a lie. No. It hurt really bad, but what happens, you can see it, when you're at an angle, you can see it, but not right now because it's down. And so when I got to the plastic surgeon, he had me, bending over, he had me like this, and he had me, all the way back, and I had to, do all these crazy things with my head. And I'm like, dude, what are you doing? You're, making me nauseous. He was. But he said, yeah, it probably is a cyst, but what it does, when it starts to hold fluids, that's when it comes to the surface, and then it like drains itself on its own. But when it forms, I need to, right away, I need to get in the car, go to his office, and get it taken care of, because what he wants to do while it's still like, up and up into the surface of my skin, he wants to cut it open, drain it all out so it doesn't happen anymore, and well, first he wants to do more tests on my head, to make sure that it really is a cyst, which he's like 95% positive that it is. So cut it open, more stitches in my head, and I'm like, oh great, yippee, just more stitches in my head, and it makes me want to cry. Like literally, you can see I'm about to cry, because I think back on everything that I went through, and I was talking to my English teacher today, because she was telling me how when she was 19 she got into a car accident, and that's why most of the time when she's not there and we have a substitute, it's because of she has spine issues and everything. So I was talking to her, and I was like, yeah, I have a horrible back. Like, that's not the first accident I've been in. Like, we've been rear-ended before when I was in my parents' car, and the one time I was young, and then the other time was actually a few years ago, and that really messed up my back. I was out the whole, months, and it never helped, and now this accident, it's always something, most definitely, but that's why I have my back pains. You'll probably see on Twitter, like, oh, my back hurts really bad. That's the reasoning for it. But anyway, so I was talking to my teacher, and I was saying, it brings back a lot. Now having to get my head cut back open when the cyst does come back up onto my skin, or onto my head. When it holds water, having to get it cut back open. And, it's like getting back into the accident all over again. It's pretty much being in that car again, flipping, landing into a ditch, and, scared. Scared but not showing it. And that was the strength that I had, and the positivity that I had, and the whole night, I think I've told you this before, but the whole night that I was in the hospital, and even out of the hospital, I was saying, it's just a little scratch. And that's how I am. Like, I've always been like that. If I was in pain, I would just be like, oh, I'm fine. I would tough it out, because I didn't want people worrying about me. That's how I am. I don't want people being there at my tail, making sure that I'm okay 24/7. I'm okay, I'm not, but I'll act like it, I'll fake it, and that's what I was saying to her today, and I was literally in tears, because I was like, it's just put me back in another car and take me into another ditch, cut my head back open, and go back and do everything again. And the pain that I went through, I know I don't think it really showed in my videos, because I had such positive energy, but the pain I went through was absolutely horrible, and I would never wish that pain upon anybody. Nobody should have pain, and especially like that. And I want to make another video, because I'm already getting up to 10 minutes, and my phone only lets me go up to 10 minutes, but I just want to share this with you, and I definitely want to make another video, I'm about to, because I need to talk, get this all aired out, and, let you guys in on, even though I am very, very positive, I still have that upset and sadness effect, so I'm gonna go make another video, so I'll see you over there.